Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm here with a video all about face masks, and specifically face masks for someone who has acne with dry skin. And the reason that that's kind of like my target is because that's my issue. Like why is my camera not focusing today? Okay, hi, welcome back. So I have really dry skin and I've had acne for a very long time. Now, if you are not new to my channel, you will know that my acne has been significantly better over the past year. So one may ask, well, why even make this about acne if you don't really have it anymore? Well, one, right now I do. I went through a very stressful time about 2 weeks ago, and it left me with some beautiful reminders, and they're finally healing, but they are still there. And two, because it's not something that I would say is completely gone from my life. It's just something that isn't as present. So, and the other reason why I'm coming at it from this angle is because not many companies, I feel, equate dry skin with acne. So most like acne products are for oily skin. So they're super stripping and kind of harsh, maybe a little bit irritating. So I want to talk about these masks as someone who's had a positive experience with these, as someone who has dry skin and who has acne. I just want to talk about them. So right now, before you even get into this, you should know if you don't have dry skin, these tips may not benefit you, but I'm gonna try to make it inclusive, but I am gonna kind of spotlight the ways that you can use things to help with drier skin. And two, if you don't have acne at all, I mean, there's gonna be some general information in here, but also this might not be like the best video for you. Also, if you're not into face masks at all, this is not the video for you. So yeah, I'm just gonna jump right in. I've got my 4 face masks that I use on a fairly regular basis right here, starting with one that I made a total video by itself about, the TLC Baby Facial from Drunk Elephant. The next two are the 2 Glossier masks, the Mega Greens Galaxy Pack and the Moisture Moon Mask. And the fourth and final is the Tatcha Violet Sea Radiance Mask. This one is purple and the packaging is lovely. And again, with the focus, come on, there we go. Okay, so all 4 of these are for different purposes. I don't feel like I need more face masks in my life. In fact, if you're not new to my channel, you would know that I was previously terrified of face masks because I thought they were all really irritating. But I feel like these encompass every need that I could have. Like you've got your mega exfoliating mask, you've got your detoxifying mask, the Mega Greens Galaxy Pack, you've got your moisturizing mask, the Moisturizing Moon Mask, and you've got your brightening mask, which is the Violet Sea Radiance Mask. So that's the basic rundown of these particular products. That is their intended purpose for the most part. Now, I'm gonna kind of talk about my experience with these products and when how I choose which one I'm gonna use. So basically, I am super intuitive with my skin. Like I practice consciousness in this area. Like that is my #1 key. I feel like that is the #1 defense you have in keeping your skin healthy and happy, is just kind of like knowing what's going on with it, how it's feeling and what it needs. And obviously there are certain things that happen that you have no influence over, at least not topically. I mean, maybe you had an allergic reaction or you were under an intense amount of stress or hormones or whatever. Like those things are out of your control for the most part. But what I'm talking about are things like dry skin, flaky skin, irritation, dullness, stuff like that. So those are things that you can see. They're very tangible things about yourself. Like you can see and touch the redness and the flakiness and the dryness. So basically, if I take off I almost never use face masks in the morning. Even if I'm not gonna wear makeup the whole day, I usually wait until the end of the day to use one. So if I take off my makeup at night and I have really, really red skin, which that just happens sometimes. I have no idea why. Some days I'll take off my makeup and I'll have the most milky white, whatever skin tone I have. I'll have that. And some days I'll take it off, and like if I do have any spots, they're really inflamed, and I'll have just redness around my nose and on my cheeks and stuff. And it's just like, why? But that's not there all the time. So on those days, I actively decide to not use face masks like these ones, because these are super drying and can be harsh and irritating. So that's like my number one rule. I pay attention to what's going on with my face. I really examine what's going on before I decide what to use on it. Now, if I'm having a really, really dull day, if I take off my makeup and my face looks like, you know, dry, unstained wood, I choose to use the Violet C Radiance mask, because this is brightening. This has vitamin C in it, and it's rejuvenating. So if you're particularly dehydrated or you're particularly dry or whatever, this would be good for that. I shouldn't have said particularly dry, because if you're feeling particularly dry, this is what I would use, the Moisturizing Moon Mask. But sometimes dryness and dullness go hand in hand, and sometimes you have to really think about whether or not you're feeling dry or you're feeling dull. Now, you could use this with a super hydrating treatment afterwards, like a serum or an oil. But if my skin's feeling extra dry, I use this. It's like a drink of water for your face. It's pretty great. So, yeah, you basically should get the point by now. I determine what face mask I use based on what my needs are for that day, which I feel like is pretty obvious. But sometimes people just like, they'll have one face mask and they'll use it all the time, no matter what's going on. And I just highly don't recommend that, because I used to be that way. And I had like, way back in the day, I had some Origins face masks, which they were horrible to my skin. Like, they were awful to my skin. But I used them, like, if ever I felt like my skin was looking bad or dull or dry or whatever, I was just like, oh, I need a face mask. But I didn't identify at that point that I needed a specific type of face mask that wasn't whatever I was using. So as far as tips and tricks go, I guess that in and of itself is a tip. Like, just kind of be aware what's going on, and maybe try to drink water so that your skin doesn't ever look dull. But my other main tip would probably be, you don't have to use masks as described on the containers. Like, if you have really, really sensitive skin and you want to use a purifying or a detoxifying mask, put it on your face on the parts where you think need it the most, and only leave it on for half the time, or 75% of the recommended time. I do this all the time because I've said this before and I'll say it again, I'm sure. I have really sensitive skin, and so things like the Mega Greens Galaxy Mask and the Baby Facial aren't always things that I want to use, and they are definitely not things that I want to use all over my face all the time. Now, I do not use the Baby Facial unless I'm using it all over. But the Mega Greens one, I never use it all over. I use it on my oiliest spots, my most congested spots. So like my cheeks, my jaw, that's specific to me. Whatever is oiliest or most congested on you, that's what I'm talking about. Now, the Moisturizing Moon Mask I use generally because I have dry skin all over. And the other one, the Violet C Radiance Mask, sometimes I use it all over and sometimes I spot treat. It just depends on the day, it depends on what's going on. But I almost never use masks for their entire intended time. Just because I feel like that's such a strict, I don't know, people take it as law because it's written on the box, and I certainly used to be that way, but I just don't anymore. I'm just like, well, I'm gonna minimize my risk of getting a bunch of breakouts by minimizing the time that I'm using this, because I do feel like it still yields results. It's just, you know, not as dry. So yeah, I guess that's pretty much all I have to say. Be intuitive. You don't have to use the mask all over your face for 30 minutes if you don't want to, or you don't feel like it's good for you. And yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to let me know. This wasn't a super well planned out video, so if it was a little scatterbrained, I apologize, but yeah, I just wanted to get up some content because I haven't made a video in a few weeks, and I fully intend, I actually already have filmed my what I've got up in my house, but I haven't put it up yet. So that might be coming next, might not be. I filmed a November favorites as well, so we shall see. But yeah, thanks for watching. Have a great day, have a great week, have a great month, all those things. See you later.